Hello everyone, I'm Meteorologist Charlie Ironmonger. Thank you so much for joining me today for your 2 p.m. news and weather update from the First Alert Desk. But of course, with today being a First Alert weather day, we are focused solely on the storm system, the snow storm system that right now is moving across eastern North Carolina. We want to turn live right now to our very own Lucy Ritchie, who is standing by in Plymouth in Washington County. Lucy, it looks like you are going through it right now. Give us an idea of what you've seen over the past, give it hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, essentially since you've been out in Plymouth earlier this morning.
Yeah, Charlie, I got here around 10:30 and it started around 11:45. It was some light flurries, but over the past 2 hours, it has definitely picked up a lot more. The wind speed is extremely high, and the snow is starting to stick to the road a lot more. The snow is definitely starting to cover, and I'm in downtown Plymouth right now, and there's not a lot of cars. All of the businesses have shut down for the day. They're not sure whenever they're going to open back up for now, but everybody is saying that they are trying to stay off the roads.
Yeah, good to hear again that the businesses again have shut down. As far as just cars on the street or even DOT crews, have you seen much activity in the way of additional road clearing going on, or does it look like everyone now is kind of seeing the heavy snow come in and everybody's starting to hunker down?
I think everybody's starting to hunker down a little bit. I've not seen many people out and about in general. I also have not seen any DOT trucks coming by to clear the snow, but I think it's because now it's starting to get worse, so that could definitely change within the next few hours.
All right, now Lucy, as far as snowflake size, I can see them kind of whipping all around your face right now. Give us a little bit of an estimate on just what the average size of these snowflakes that you're seeing right now. What are we looking at? Are we talking about just teeny tiny grain of rice, or maybe some a little bit more substantial, like snowflakes the size of a pea?
Teeny tiny. There's nothing crazy. Maybe I would say about a grain of rice, but it's pretty small. I didn't really think it was sticking at first, but as I was driving, I've definitely noticed it too. So.
All right, perfect. Well, thank you so much, Lucy. We will let you hunker down like the rest of Washington, County and Plymouth. Get warm. Thank you so much for the report. Again, that was Lucy Ritchie reporting live in Plymouth, Washington County with the latest. We now want to turn our attention to our very own Stephen Glover, who's going to be standing by in Morehead City. Before we do that, though, we're going to give you a look at what we've got outside in Morehead City. This is, again, going to be a very heavy snow event for the coast. Right now, we have seen some of the heaviest snowfall rates along the coast, and you can see it here. Things, again, are just looking crazy. So we want to now again turn live to Stephen Glover, who is in Morehead City right now, kind of enduring the scene we just showed you. Here is again Stephen. Stephen, if you can hear me, I understand you got a gentleman next to you. What do we got going on in Morehead City, man?
Well, we got what looks like Alaskan and Canadian type weather right here towards the coast. So anything but the fun in the sun. We got some strong winds coming here. We got the snow blowing, a little bit of ice in the air too. But we also got Joseph here, who was out and about enjoying the snow. Joseph, tell me a little bit about, being a Morehead City resident. What do you take from all of this that's going on here today?
It's kind of crazy. I mean, you just are looking for the sun, and it's not there. Let's be honest. But it's beautiful at the same time. It's a treat to be able to see so much snow out here and see people enjoying it and having a good time, because how many times can you get in a snowball fight in Morehead City? That's the truth.
Yeah, and other people I spoke with as well, a lot of people actually are staying home, enjoying it, enjoying the weather in their nice houses and stuff, or just looking outside their window. But Joseph, you also brought some friends out here. What do you plan on doing today?
Anything that can happen. I mean, honestly, we got snow angels forming over here. Snowball fights for sure. I hope I build a snowman, to be honest.
And Joseph, being a Morehead City resident, this is very unusual, right?
Absolutely. It's but it's been 2 years in a row. You start to get accustomed to it at about this time of the year, But We don't look for it. I'll be honest with that.
And Joseph's also here with some friends too. We got a friend over here from New Jersey, and I'm pretty sure he's the one who's bringing all this cold winter weather down here to our beautiful coast.
Yeah, chased him down here, that's for sure.
All right. Well, it sounds like, again, you guys are having a great time. We appreciate the report. Stephen, we'll be checking in with you possibly later on. But, again, go enjoy the snow. Try and stay warm. Keep those fingers covered. And, again, maybe get in on that snow angel action that's just happening just over there. Now, let's talk about, again, what we are seeing outside throughout eastern North Carolina. Again, want to say thank you to both Stephen and Lucy for joining us live, again, where they are stationed. Again, we'll have more of those live reports coming up at the top of the hour, each hour from now until we get to 8 p.m. tonight. As far as what we've got right now in Morehead City, this is a look at it. Again, just big, heavier snowflakes coming down than what we're seeing throughout the rest of eastern North Carolina. Currently 26 degrees along the coast in Carteret County. Northerly wind blowing in at 18 miles per hour. Looking at a feels-like temperature, though, down at 13 degrees. It is cold. It is certainly cold out there. Here's what we've got in Belhaven. Again, still seeing some of the flakes getting a bit fatter. We're going to highlight that. We have seen the size and intensity of flakes increase over the past hour. A lot of that, again, is that bigger moisture field really starting to come in, and there you can actually see some snow drifts, mini ones, trying to form there at Pitt Greenville Airport. Earlier, you could kind of see the wind blowing a lot of that snow on the ground, but now it looks like we're starting to see a little bit more accumulation, which is starting to stick some of those flakes in place. 23 degrees right now in Greenville, feels like 9 degrees. Similar story in Washington, where, again, starting to see some accumulation, certainly in parking lots on areas that haven't been treated with brine. Please, if you guys can, stay off the roads. Do yourselves a favor. This is not something you really want to go out driving in, because things are only going to be getting worse. Again, this is a big picture look. You can see we do have quite the dry air intrusion within this moisture field. You can tell just by the huge gap we've got between both of those snow bands. We've got one that's covering up a hefty portion of the western half of North Carolina, most of South Carolina, even extending down into Georgia. And then a big just gap of dry air where not really a whole lot's coming down, and then obviously getting into some heavier moisture as you get closer to Highway 17 and then eastward. Let's zoom the picture in a little bit closer. That's why, again, initially we went with some of the lower or more conservative snowfall expectation amounts. We knew, again, that dry air was going to play a factor in the forecast, and well, here we are seeing that dry air cut out a big chunk of what could have been snowfall coming down. So as far as snowfall totals go, I think those of you watching on the eastern side of Highway 17 still have a pretty good chance of seeing some pretty heavy amounts. Don't get me wrong, we are all going to be going home with snow tonight into tomorrow morning, but I think those of you watching closer to the Crystal Coast and then closer to the Sounds will be seeing a little bit more snow than those of you watching on the western side of Highway 17. Right now, it looks like those heavier snowfall totals, or heavier snowfall rates, I should say, moving over really North Topsail Beach all the way up towards Swansboro, even extending into Havelock. But also want to highlight where that rain snow line is. Right now, just off the coast of Cape Lookout. So again, we are seeing pretty much straight snow across eastern North Carolina. As far as what we're looking at a little bit further northward, Beaufort County starting to again see some of those heavier snowfall rates. You can see some of those darker blue bands rolling in. That is more precipitation, more moisture that is converting over into some snowflakes. So if you're unhappy with the light dusting flakes we were getting earlier, this stuff is heavier. This stuff is the kind of stuff that's really going to accumulate and lead to some sledding conditions out there, whether you want to or not. Again, just had a comment from Jessica. Not much accumulations in Seven Springs. Light flurry since 8:30 this morning. Again, that being that far west right now and seeing again that big gap of dry air, Jessica, you may end up seeing again less snow than what you may have hoped for. Again, do apologize about that. We knew again the dry air would be a problem, and right now it is being just that for those of you closer to I-95. Those of you closer to the water, though, again, we are still seeing a few little dry air pockets. We've got one right now you see it just north of Manteo, that little dry air pocket, again, interrupting that snowfall. But further back towards the west, those of you watching in Kinston, Greenville, Bethel, Williamston, you guys have certainly seen your snowfall rates increase over the past hour. That will likely be a trend we see continue over really the next, we'll give it at least 8 hours, could be up to around 12 hours, but really starting to see everything taper off as we head into the early hours of tomorrow morning. We'll give it 10 hours of, again, some of this more intense snowfall, but we're not through the worst of it yet. Everybody wondering out there, just looking outside saying, I was expecting more. Is like watching the first half of the Super Bowl and calling it quits once the ads start showing up at halftime. You got to watch the second half of the game, otherwise, you know, what's the point? What's the point in getting disappointed or even getting your hopes up in the first place? Right now, air temperatures very much on track with where we need them to be in order to accumulate snow. Most of us looking at low to mid 20s as far as air temps go. We do have Rocky Mount showing up at 19 degrees, 18 in Roanoke Rapids, but Hatteras right now 35 degrees. Not a good look there for Hatteras, because that could expose the island to a little bit more of some freezing rain potential, a little bit more ice accumulation with those temperatures just a little bit higher. Now, as far as winds go, this is something we are going to be tracking very closely through tonight, how strong the winds are going to be getting. Right now, sustained winds sitting between about 15 to 25 miles an hour. Manteo right now showing up with a 29 mile per hour sustained wind. It is, again, going to be a very windy night, and that will obviously, well, maybe not obviously, it's obviously for me, shouldn't have said that. It will create smaller snow flakes. Stronger the winds blow, the colder the air gets, the drier the air gets, and the more difficult it is for those fatter flakes to hold together. So if you're hoping just for the big fast stuff falling from the sky, no, this is going to be a lot of very small flakes continuing for several hours all the way through tonight. Snowfall coming down. Air temperatures 20 degrees for most of the night. That means some of us will be in the upper teens, others of us will be in the low 20s. Waking up tomorrow morning, it's going to be a slow warm up, but right now it does look like that cloud cover is going to be pulling out of the east once we get to around 2, 3, 4 p.m. in the afternoon, leaving us with sunny skies, but a snowy scene on the ground. Here's again a big picture look at what we've got. That dry air intrusion should become less and less of an issue once we get into the overnight hours. Obviously, those of you watching closer to I-95 will certainly again see less snow than you may have wanted because of that dry air intrusion. But those of you along the coast, you guys are still on track for, again, seeing, I believe we had about 7 to 12 inches of snow. Everything, again, pulls out, though, by the time we get to, I would say, late morning to lunchtime along the coast. For those of you watching closer to I-95, likely going to be done by the time we get to most likely sunrise, maybe a little bit after that. So let's time this out. This is 2 p.m. We'll fast forward till 3 p.m., an hour from now. And again, still looking at some patches, some dry air in there. But as we head towards 6, note just how more inland areas will start to see some darker blues showing up. That's heavier snowfall rates. That is more moisture, indicating, again, heavier, really more snow accumulation over that time period. Along the coast, going to be very close to that rain-snow line. Hatteras, you guys may end up with some icing at times, but I believe by the time we get to around midnight, that low and that rain-snow line is going to be shifted a little bit further off to the east than what we're seeing on your model screen right now. But again, just want to highlight that eastern North Carolina, again, seeing light snow flurries at this point, and then everything's starting to dry out. This is 3 a.m. in the morning. I-95 starting to dry out. By 5 a.m., we're starting to see areas across really Bertie, Martin, Pitt, Greene, Lenoir, Wayne, northern Duplin, Sampson counties starting to see their last snowflakes. By 7, that line works its way a little bit further eastward, pretty much right along, if not just a little bit further east of Highway 17. By 9, it's more of an outer bank snow system at that point, and then by 11 and noon, everything just really kind of clears out. And that leaves us with sunnier skies, and that will lead to a little bit of melt coming up on Monday, but certainly not a lot. Now here's a look again at our expectations for snow accumulation. Those of you again watching along and east of Highway 17 still on track to potentially see upwards around a little bit more than half a foot up to a foot of snow as we make our way from today into tomorrow. As far as areas a little bit further back towards I-95, looking again at less snow potential, likely due again to that dry air intrusion. 4 to 7 inches with the higher amounts expected closer to Highway 17. Essentially, the further east you go with this system, the better the odds are of you racking up more snow. If you're sitting further back towards the west, say kind of closer towards Fayetteville or even back towards Raleigh, it's not looking as heavy. That dry air is kind of robbing you guys of an opportunity for more snowflakes, but that's just unfortunately just how this system is going to be coming together. Billy George having the opposite problem, calling heavy snowfall in Emerald Isle. Yeah, Billy George, I do not doubt it. China Abreu, 7 to 12 inches in Greenville, question mark? No, probably not seeing 7 to 12 inches in Greenville. I would probably cut that down 4 to 7 inches possible. Right now, I'm still kind of between about 5 to 6 for Greenville. That's I think where I think Central Pitt County will end up. Now, what is coming after that dry air gap? That is a great question from Skylar Boyette. Skylar, fantastic question. What is likely going to be coming is that moisture is going to try to fill in, but that it's not going to do a great enough job for it. Because as that low pressure system gets stronger, it's gradually going to be shifting its way further out into the Atlantic. So while the moisture field will try to fill in, that back line is continuing to get pulled out. So you're kind of having a competing push and pull between how much moisture the system can add to how fast the system is exiting from eastern North Carolina. And I, again, don't anticipate a whole lot of fill-in as far as snowfall goes. On the western side of I-95, I don't see totals really getting all that high, at least at this point. I think once we get into probably around midnight tonight, this is again going to end up being pretty much just a coastal system. All of the snow flurries seeing further back towards the west, those will either have pushed down to the southwest or they will have dried up. And that's again leading to, well, just a snowscape coming up, frozen snowscape coming up for Sunday. Again, not much melting is going to be happening on Monday. Some will. I don't want to say that it's just going to stay the exact same. There will certainly be some melting, but probably not going to be seeing a lot. Ursula Jameson, Burgaw. I never hear any news on Burgaw. Likely again, Burgaw I would put in more of a 4 to 7 inch range. Again, that's total accumulations from earlier this morning to what we've got coming up early tomorrow morning. But I think you'll probably end up on the lower end of that range, unless again we see that moisture field really start to expand. Anyways, here's what we've got over the next 8 days. 25 degrees for tomorrow, after really upper teens later on tonight, down to 10 degrees Monday morning, 19 again Monday night into Tuesday morning, so refreezing. Anything that melts on Monday is going to be an issue coming up for Tuesday morning. By Tuesday, we will certainly see improvements. The additional heat, add in some rain showers coming down with overnight lows staying above freezing. That should do a pretty good job of getting rid of quite a bit of snow quite a bit faster than I know just some elbow grease wood and some shoveling. So if you're wondering, okay, when is it all going to go away? I think by the time we get to Wednesday afternoon, all of the snow will be gone from eastern North Carolina. Now, that is all we have time for today's 2 p.m. news and weather update. I am going to head in. We do have a couple more questions. Martin County from Callie Woolard. Martin County, Callie, likely end up seeing about 4 to 7 inches. Jacksonville from Martina Corina. I would again say about 4 to 7 inches. Oak Island. There you might end up seeing certainly a little bit higher than 4 to 7 inches, but again, being that far south, may end up, I'd put it in 7 to 12. I would put it in 7 to 12 for Oak Island. That's from Francis Evans. But with that, that's all we have time for. We will be back with more live reports from our reporters out in the field to give you guys an extended look into what is happening across eastern North Carolina. Until then, I hope you all have a fantastic rest of your Saturday. Stay warm, stay bundled, stay inside, stay off the roads, and hopefully you get to go out and do some sledding later on today or coming up for tomorrow and have some fun out in the snow. We'll see you back here coming up at 3 o'clock.